Hello everyone and welcome to another traditional draft of Brothers War. This will be not my last, definitely not the last traditional draft of Brothers War, but there will be the Alchemy um, Brothers War draft happening on the following day from me recording this thing, and it's only gonna be there for a week. So I do actually like the Alchemy um, uh, infused draft format. It's a little bit of change to the regular draft format, and I will also want to collect the Alchemy cards via draft. So that means I will focus on the Alchemy drafts for the next week then, and also the videos I will be recording will be the Alchemy draft format. So I think the next 4 or 5 videos will be Alchemy drafts of Brothers War. But let's now pick something here. The rare is not really that good. It's fine. Corrupt is interesting to first pick, and you can kind of play around with, draft around it. But the Junkyard Genius I think is just better. I also like the Crusher here, but it's mostly just good 4 drop or /7 drop. But this thing actually can be something you build your deck around. I didn't actually have time to look through the commons. Um, I don't think there was anything amazing there, but I was explaining about the alchemy too long there maybe. But I think this can't be that bad of a first pick. If there's like a high quality removal common there, I'm still not sad about picking this. This thing is the 2-color card though, so obviously uh, black and red should be open if I am going to be able to use this. So I think Thraxer Demon could be a continuation because this is a weak pack for sure. The rare has been taken, and there's the Millstone, which is the retro artifact card, not a very good one, and the uncommons are not amazing. I think the Ursa, which was in the previous pack too, is like I haven't really seen this do much good work. It's playable if you're blue, but it's not a high pick. I think 3 mana 1/3 is a pretty sad stat line for sure. Okay, I think I'll take the Thraxer Demon. It's a weak second pick, but it's definitely going to be, if I get to play the Genius, this is the kind of 2-drop I want to have as well. There's a Disfigure here, there's a Dwarven Forge Chanter, and the Evolving Wilds. Pretty easy continuations. I wouldn't mind a Juggernaut necessarily. I like this in most of my red decks for sure, but it's not the peak here. Rather weak a set of uncommons again. These are actually, the first 2 ones are, well, the Arms Race is almost unplayable. This is really weak. I haven't seen this being played by anyone. And this is also, it can be good in very specific decks, but not a high pick uncommon. I'm happy to take the Disfigure here. It is going to be better than the 2-drop here, and the Evolving Wilds, well, nice. It's quite early in the draft. I don't have to, pick Evolving Wilds, and you can play, 2-color deck with 9/8 mana base or 10/7. It's not the end of the world. Disfigure is a pretty darn good card. It's an aggressive format, and this will find some nice targets for sure. Against most opponents it will. Of course, there will be some decks that don't really have that many targets, and in that case I can sideboard it out. Of course, this is a best of 3 draft. Now, another Evolving Wilds. The best card in this pack, though, is the Phalange Vanguard. I would like picking it more if these black cards were red instead, so I kind of could take these and maybe abandon the Genius, but now I would be abandoning the Disfigure and the Genius. Not so worried about the Thraxer Demon, it's good, but not like that amazing. I could take, Evolving Wilds here, because it's pretty good with both the sack commons. So black has the 2-drop common that gets a counter when you sack a permanent, and of course red has the 1-drop that gets menace and all that. You could take the aggro, but I'm not really the sack deck yet. So I think the pick is between the Vanguard and the Evolving Wilds. I think I will take the Evolving Wilds now because I have a decent black start in here. Let's see if I will regret that choice by having like something amazing from red-white. But actually, there is a good card, Ambush Paratrooper, definitely a card I would always run in red and white decks. But this pack has another Disfigure and the Goblin Blast Runner here now too. This is one of the common payoffs for sacrificing. I just talked about the black one is the, I don't recall the card's name, but it's a 2-mana 2/1. Get a +1/+1 counter when you sacrifice a permanent. It's a really decent common in these black-red decks that have means to sacrifice stuff. So I think here the question is, am I going to take the Blast Runner or another Disfigure? There's a Bitter Reunion which also works with the sack payoffs. There's also very nice duo of green cards here. I guess because I took the Disfigure, I'm going to take the Blast Runner around. Let's because I have 1, 2, 3 cards out of these 5 that involve sacrificing at least once something, so it's gonna make the Blast Runner already decent enough. And here it's pretty easy. Chromatic Star, another way to sacrifice a permanent, a little bit of mana fixing as well, and of course this can be used to sacrifice. Well, maybe this is not so good to sacrifice on something like Power Stone Fracture as the Energy Refractor would be, because this draws your card always. This only draws your card. Oh, sorry, I was wrong. This is I was confused by the Chromatic Sphere. Yeah, no, this is of course great. If you sack this on anything, you get to draw the card no matter what. So yeah, that's perfect. Let's take it. I would have taken it anyway. I somehow, you know, I was thinking about, is it the Chromatic Sphere that only draws your card when you activate the mana ability? I think it's from original Mirrodin block or something like that. Anyway, let's not get stuck with that. This is even better that this works so nicely with the stuff I have here. Okay, the Locust. I wouldn't mind have. Actually, I like these 2 power flyers in this format. These are sometimes a good way to push some damage, and the exiling stuff from Graveyard Part is good. It's not really a sack deck card. I would want to synergize more. I don't think I'm gonna take the Refinery here. I think the question is between something like a Blitz Automaton and the Whirling Strike. I guess I'll take the Strike. It's a fairly decent trick, although you could have taken the Wings too. This kind of black-red deck wouldn't mind having some, evasive options, but I guess this does serves a similar role. It's a one use, of course, but you can attack and push for some extra damage with this thing. This pack is weak. I don't think I'm even supposed to take. Well, I guess I could take a Disenchant if I actually move to white. Open a white bomb in the next pack or something. I still think I take the Intervention. It's a passable sideboard card. Okay. I do like the Skull Flare in the decks that can actually, make this grow, but I'm not sure if I want to do it here. Blast Zone isn't the worst. It's producing only colorless. It's also, a way to sacrifice something. A Supply Drop is not the worst. You can also sack this, use it as a trick, and then sack the effect, sack the artifact for some effect. The Automaton is also fine here. I think I'll take the Supply Drop though, because it it serves as sacrifice fodder as well. This is now an actual weak pack. I'll just take the uncommon, whatever. Arms Race, Tower Worker. I mean, the playable card out of this bunch is the Tower Worker. It's very unlikely I will play it, but I'm still taking it over, an uncommon. I guess I can take the Acrobat. This is very nice if I get to take the Steel card, because this is a free mana-less sacrifice effect, so I can easily steal a creature and then sacrifice it. Maybe I should pass the white and green. I really want to just be black and red at this point, so I'm gonna take these. And this has some very, very limited sideboard use, but it's not impossible to sideboard this in against decks that have a lot of one-toughness creatures. Let's just pass the green stuff away and then see what I'm opening here. A good rare, but of course quite the opposite colors I'm having here. The uncommons are, well, this is a very decent one, and this is a decent one in certain decks, but of course both those are blue, not black or red. Like the Baldur Branch Golem. Yeah, this is a weak pack for me for sure. I could just take another Killzone Acrobat and try to, find those steel effects, threaten effects. What's the name of? It's the Sibling Rivalry in this set, isn't it? Makes a Power Stone token as well. Yeah, this is not a weak pack because it has a nice rare and nice uncommon for sure, and this is a really good common. I wouldn't mind first picking this thing out of a pack if I am green. I'm not green though. Clay Revenant is something I should be getting back later on. Actually, I'm taking another Acrobat in here and just try to find some sibling rivalries. Okay, well, there's a Junkyard Genius. Although, that said, I'm still taking the Genius, but this pack is actually, wow, for this archetype, this is an amazing pack. I mean, something like a Ravenous Gigamole is usually quite nice playable card. You would play this in most green decks, but this pack has an Emergency Weld, very good one. Ichor Wellspring works very well with this kind of an archetype, and of course the Transmogrant Altar, quite useful as well. I'm taking the card that I think is the best out of this bunch, but can I hope to get something like an Altar back? I don't think I'm gonna get the Wellspring. I wouldn't mind having the Thopter either. Or maybe the Gigamole, but I mean this pack was just wild, very good for me. Okay, there are a couple of mythic rares which I could, pick for set completion purposes. And I would actually take the reservoir over there, one with multiverse. Of course, both of these unplayable. I guess this is not unplayable in some decks. But anyway, I mean, it would have to be blue. But yeah, um, I have three of these. I could take the fourth one. Of course, these are in the Kaladis remastered set too. I mean, I don't need the card, but I want to still complete the full set. So the question is, am I going to take something like a third Acrobat here, or just this Forge Chanter? And I think this pack is weak enough. I don't really need the third one right now. This is fine, but I'm going to take this one because the retro artifacts are not, in fact, they are not duplicate protected. It's a bug or intentionally done or whatever. So if I want to complete this set, I can't count on opening, for non-fifth copies from the packs. Here is a Perilous Vault, which I only have one copy of. But then again, there is also a Bitter Reunion. There's an Evolving Wild, which would... Well, I guess I have only one Blast Runner and no... Yeah, I don't actually have a very big reason to just take these sack outlets. I don't like to redraft in my recorded drafts. I do it a little bit more when I don't record it, but I guess I'm just gonna do it just for the set completion's sake. The pick otherwise would be I would just take the Evolving Wilds here. Yep, but it's done. I took the Mythic Rare. Sorry about that. All right. Scrapwork Rager. Yeah, well, I mean, not really a Trench Stalker deck. How many automatons have I passed? At least two. But I don't think it's that important, especially because look at my 3-drop slot. I don't need any random 3-drop. So I'm gonna take the Rager. Unearthed creatures are nice for sacrificing two, although I don't really have that many. No, actually I do have two Geniuses. Yeah, this is fine. It's a fine one. I want some other sack payoffs though, but I haven't been getting them. Alright, so here I do like the Pristine Talisman in most decks, but maybe not this one. I don't really have much to ramp into, but I like the life gain part here. You play this on turn 3, and that's actually represents a lot of life the opponent has to, additional life the opponent has to, additional damage the opponent has to deal to you in order to win the game. But yeah, I'll take the Warblow. It's a good 2-drop, and definitely works as a 6-drop as well. And there is, oh man, why is this pack so crazy? I mean, I have multiple packs that don't really have anything that amazing for me. I guess I was able to pick a couple of mythic rares because the options weren't that great. And this pack has Sibling Rivalry, Powstone Fracture, and the Strong Bull. All amazing cards in this deck. Also the Refractor, I wouldn't mind having it, and the Clay Revenant useful as well. Man, with double Genius though and the Acrobat, double Acrobat, I'm gonna take this, but I mean the Strong Bull is really good, the Powstone Fracture really good. But I go for the power play. I mean, this can just be so backbreaking for the opponent to deal with, still their big thing. Or it doesn't have to be a big thing, the most impactful thing. Uh, Although with the Acrobat it's not so great because you don't get to deal damage with it. You have to sack it as an attack trigger, but it's still great. And you don't have to. You can just sometimes win by stealing their blocker and then swinging with everyone. I'll take the Locust here. I don't know if I'm gonna main deck it though. I have so many 3-drops. This is the first cut anyway. Okay, let's take the Clay Revenant here. I have enough ways to, benefit from sacking stuff. Now this was the pack that had all the good stuff and most of that have been taken. Oh man, I'm a little bit sad here. Let's see how many creatures I have. 9 out of 14. So I'm gonna take the Gigamole here. But this, I was really hoping to get Altar, Ashnod's Altar. It's that the card because it's really good with something like a Clay Revenant and also with Sibling Rivalry here. But let's take the Gigamole. It's a totally reasonable 4-drop, and I actually got the Forge Chanter. I did pass a Forge Chanter when I took a Mythic Rare. I wonder if it was this pack. It doesn't matter, I'm taking it now. A 2-drop, why not? The dig site is... I really don't like the colorless producing lands. I don't really need a second copy of... sorry, a third copy of the Intervention either, so I guess I'll take the dig site but put it to the sideboard for now. I guess I'll take the, best card out of that pack, and Dredging Claw. Don't really think this is anywhere near as good enough, as good as the what's the wings thing? Oh, this here, yeah, this is the similar kind of an effect. So this is much better because flying is clearly better than a menace. Now this has like a little bit of an extra utility because you can get a free equip out of it. But let's just talk about this pack. I'm gonna take the leveler, not because it's a mythic rare. I mean, I guess partly also because of that, but it's just an insane bomb. And yes, it's an 8 mana card, but look at this. I have a couple of geniuses here. Card draw here. I can go to 8 mana, including the power stones. And of course the sibling rivalry gives me a power stone too. It's an easy pick here. It's such an insane card when you get to cast and attack with it, especially. Alright, so this pack has I wouldn't play one of Mask of the Jade Crafter without access to green. It's not the worst though, you could do that. And maybe if I had like a 2 blast runners and 2 of the 2-drops, the black creatures that get countered when I sack stuff, maybe yeah. But I don't think I care about it too much. I think there's a nice removal rare, but maybe I'm not gonna splash for it. I guess I could, but I would have to put the planes in the deck. I have a Chromatic Star as well. I don't have any other fixing. Well, there is the Evolving Wilds. I think I like the Mistras Bauble just more. I'm not taking maybe another Rager at this stage. I have 2 4-drops already, so it's not a high priority. Okay, and then I'm getting an Astral Cornucopia, which I could have used to splash the white removal, but it's not happening now. Alright. This is a weak pack for me. There is a conscript infantry, which is not the worst, but I don't really need a 3-drop. I want actually a 2-drop here. There's no early pick for me here though. It's not an onslaught deck. I don't need these 7-drops. I guess I have to take the 3-drop here, because when you are lacking 2-drops, you definitely want to not miss your 3-drop. Alright, there's a statue here. What else? More 3-drops, a 4-drop. I don't like how this pack 3 is going so far. 13 creatures and 6 non-creatures. I could take the statue. I could just take a third of these acrobats and play like instead of the infantry, but maybe with just one sibling rivalry I shouldn't take too many of them. I'm taking the card I can actually play on turn 2. I'm not happy about this pack though. Is there even a low quality 2-drop? No, there isn't. Another way to splash the white, by the way. I can't say I'm happy about this. I have not enough early game here currently. 2 2-drops, 1 disfigure. I guess there's a blast runner as well. Well, anyway, I'm gonna take the Rager now. I don't think I'm gonna have time with this thing, and I don't really need another 3 mana card. Just anything else than a 3 mana card. So yep, that's it. And please 2-drop. No. There is a combat courier though. There's an unleash shell. I don't have a lot of removal here. The moment of defiance isn't bad, but I have a couple of tricks already, the Whirling Strike and the supply drop. I think I might have to take this very clumsy 5 mana removal because my removal is very, very lacking here. I have a disfigure here. Yeah, let's take the Unleash Shell, but I'm not happy about this pack 3 at all. Yeah, it seems like Black Red was really drafted here. How many Boulder Branch Golems have I seen in this draft? A lot. I don't think I can make this to be a 4/6/6 often enough that I'm gonna pick it. No, I'm not gonna take it. I'll just take another Giga Mole here. And I really don't get any 2-drops here. Wow. So Disciples of Gigs. Not very useful. I don't even have a emergency world here. This pack 3 was actually a catastrophe. I didn't get anything I actually wanted to have here. Jeez. I guess this is a 2-drop, by the way, so that's something. I'm gonna take the Whirling Strike here. I guess it's the most useful card out of that bunch. Right, am I supposed to take another Giga Mole here? I have 2 Rages, 2 Giga Moles. I don't want to play any more 4-drops here. The Wings as a sideboard card. I guess I'll take the Wings here. I don't have it yet, but I don't really see using it that much. Alright, so Clay Revenant number 2 or Conscripted Infantry number 2. I mean, I started with good sack stuff, but I haven't gotten any great sack stuff. I still take the Revenant because it is a good. I will explain soon. I will just finish off these packs. I'm not gonna play the Drake. I'm just taking the uncommon here. The Drake is quite weak actually. Yeah, this is whatever. I don't think I like my other 3 drops just more than this Scrapsmith, so I'll take the 2/4 here. I guess I can take it now, but it goes to sideboard. And there's a Moment of Defiance, which I don't think I'm gonna main deck, but let's put it there for now. Okay, so now why did I pick the Revenant here is that it's actually something I can use against aggressive decks that have 1 toughness early drops. This is of course amazing to block them, and I have such a low amount of 2 drops that I might need to sideboard into 2 of these Revenants if I'm not gonna even main deck both of them. But let's see, I have I guess 3 cards here. It's gonna be a 17 land deck, even though I have a couple of cheap cantrips here. I have also an 8 mana mythic rare here, which I do want to be able to cast when I have it in my hand. So I'm gonna play 17 lands. But yeah, so how the draft started with I took a fairly early Blast Runner after having picked already a Thraxodemon, Junkyard Genius, and then I got a Evolving Wilds there at some point. Either before or after this, I don't even recall, but it was a good sign that I could be able to play the kind of a sacrifice archetype, but I didn't get any other payoffs after this thing. I just didn't. I mean, there are commons like this thing, and then the black 2-drop. But this is what I have to work with. Maybe there was a chance to switch colors, but I mean, I got the 2 geniuses. It's really hard to switch colors after that. But yeah, let's see now what will be the cuts in here. So I guess I could cut like one of the 4-drops. This is a 2-drop at least. Currently, this is 10 non-creatures, so the statue plus 9 are other ones. It's a fairly decent amount of triggers for this thing, so I kind of want to play it. I like the supply drop still here, maybe, or do I not like it? So number of creatures is currently 16. I think I have to play the Unleash Shell here, just to have some removal on bigger things. Also, of course, the rivalry will work there too once I, have either an Acrobat or other way to sacrifice it, like the Genius or the Thraxodemon. That requires a lot more mana, of course. Yeah, I'm still playing the Blast Runner. I have enough ways to, sacrifice here and there to make it worth it. Plus, opponent might also just often use a removal on it if they have, just to, because of course they don't necessarily, at least in game 1, they don't know how much will I have ways to grow this guy. So I think I will cut the info. I feel like the Moment of Defiance is out of these tricks the least interesting one. I like the supply drop because it leaves me the artifact I can sack or something. Well, I mean, I can sack it for itself just to draw a card and maybe get closer to 8 mana for the leveler or something like that. But I think the infantry and the defiance thing, those can be cut easily, but I wouldn't. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a 17 land deck. I have actually some card draw. The rages draw me more cards, so I'm not too concerned about flooding out with this deck. Even though I have 2 of these cantrips, because how you should kind of think about these cards that whose primary function is to just be a cheap way to draw 1 more card. They are kind of like half a land, because of course you don't have exactly 20 out of 40 lands in your deck, but still you are close to that. So whenever you use a card that just draws you 1 card, that's gonna be like a land half of the time. So I could combine the Mistress Bauble and the Chromatic Star and think that I could play 16 lands with them. And I usually maybe would, but because of the leveler, I don't want to maybe do that. And also because of the additional card draw I have available, I will be able to, I will survive some kind of floods with this deck. But yeah, now the question is, which is the final cut? It could be the Clay Revenant from the main deck, because it is not that good against most decks. So I'm gonna cut one of the Clay Revenants. The second one will be like a sweet little combination with stuff like Thraxer Demon, or I guess also the Genius. And this will be my main deck, which is, I think, not very good. There were a couple of packs in the draft. I mean, where the picks were weak, and then there was one pick that had like 3 or 4 cards I would have all wanted for my deck. But that's just how the cards were, distributed in the packs in this draft. So that's it. Now, am I going to play the dig site now because I am playing 17 lands. I have the Evolving Wilds, and I have some little bit fixing here, and I don't have actually that hard mana requirements. I have 8 black, 8 red spells, and well, this is also black quite often because it's a turn 2 play quite often, I believe. This is double red, but it's a 5 mana card. I guess I could, get a little bit of value out of my 17th land and have the dig site here. Yeah. And I suppose because the Unleashed Shell is my only double caster, I should now play, because it's gonna be 8-7 basics. I am going to play 8 mountains and 7 swamps. Yeah, I don't know what happened. The pack 3 was really, really disappointing, but on the other hand, I have had some very nice decks that didn't do so well. So, of course, in draft or in Magic in general, you cannot always win games. Of course, there will be a luck factor always involved, but let's at least try to do our best with this deck. Okay, and one thing I should mention, because I didn't talk about this card at all, I just picked it because it's a mythic rare, but of course this is, a mass removal card, but it's so slow. I could see maybe sideboarding this in against opponents that have like an insane amount of bombs, and I really want to just have this kind of a reset button available, but this enters, no, actually this doesn't enter tapped, so if you have 9 mana and Power Stones are okay for this, you can just suddenly wipe the board at the 9 mana, but usually the opponent will, see this. Now the good thing about this is that it is not a sorcery speed activation, so you can activate this on your opponent's end step. And then you are going to be the first player to actually put stuff to the battlefield. So I could see maybe sideboarding it in, but it's not a card I want to main deck because I have to be sure that I want to wipe the board against a specific opponent. So usually against someone that has an aggressive deck with not so great late game. I don't know if my late game is that good either. So yeah, there's no reason to run this card in the main deck. Okay, I have red, black, and a dig site. Team Mulligan, I'll keep this at it, definitely. I kind of don't want to get the mountain because it's one free, which sort of activates. It's not a triggered ability because it's just a static ability. But if I would be drawing just a mountain, it would be so great. But well, that's another way to make this deal a little bit extra. I guess I'm gonna just do this now. So the opponent kept 6 cards. Gonna get the mountain right away. I'm not gonna play the bubble yet, because it's also gonna trigger the prowess on this thing. Because I think my turn 2 will be the Forge Chanter. Turn 3, I likely play the Blast Runner and the Thraxer Demon, and then I can also play the bubble to trigger this prowess once. I don't have a rush to draw the card with this thing. By the way, I just noticed the opponent does play a 44 card deck. 7 plus 37, yep. Okay, they didn't play a land. They misclicked. What's this? They drew a card, they passed the turn. I guess they mulliganed to 6 and... Okay, they kept the 0 lander. They mulliganed to 6 and kept the 0 lander. Well, this might be a little bit of an easier game now. Let's play the dig side, this thing. Well, maybe let's just do this first. I'm not gonna use this bubble yet because I want to, you know, benefit from the boost it provides to the blast runner. So it's gonna be a next turn thing, I believe. But I mean, this shouldn't be really a big deal, you know, winning this game here because they haven't really done anything yet. And I have actually a pretty good stuff going on here because I'm applying a lot of pressure. I have a disfigure for, I mean, they are, okay, they just don't do anything. This is just a non-game. Well, let's go to game 2 very soon. I'm actually a bit surprised they haven't considered, but it's not a bad idea necessarily to see what the opponent has to offer it to you. Not even sure if I should use this right now. I'm gonna use it a little bit later. Okay, I'm gonna give them information. I'm gonna mill 3 cards and they see what they're up against. Okay, pretty decent cards. I'm going to take the Genius. I could take the Acrobat because it's good with the Revelry, but I don't really need it. I'd rather have the Genius, which can, you know, give my team a menace. Not like I need it. I mean, they still haven't done anything. They are playing like liquid metal coding. Animist is good, of course, if you have the support for it. But that's... I don't know if this is some kind of a joke thing, but I guess we'll see in game 2 if they are having an actual game of Magic. Maybe I should check their next card. They might concede in response. I mean, not now, but when my turn is. Okay, let's see what they have going on there. So, military discipline, so another non-land. And they have also an Ashnod's altar. I don't anymore know what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna decline this. I don't need the leveler in my hand. I mean, I'm gonna win on the next turn because I have enough damage here. Yep, okay. Well, I mean, I guess it's one game in this video that is a total non-game. I'm not gonna scrap the video just because of this, but maybe the game 2 will be interesting, but I don't know, based on what... I mean, Ashnod's altar, liquid metal coding, they are not exactly... I mean, I don't know what's going on, they are just not playing anything. This is enough damage now. Okay, game 2. Okay, I saw a bunch of just weird cards that... Well, at least this telegraphs to me that they are not an aggressive deck. These are not very aggressive cards. The military discipline, well, I guess is an aggro card, but I mean, who are they gonna target with it? So I definitely don't need another Clay Revenant. Moment of Defiance. I'm just gonna ship the same deck and let's see what happens now. Okay, so they use the entire sideboarding clock, so it's possible they are just timing out now. We'll see. Okay, they are timing out, so I don't know if that's gonna lead to them blowing right now, but guess we'll see. Nope. Yes, okay. So that was the easiest match win I have had in a while. Come on, let me go. Okay, maybe Prime Strategist is gonna offer me an opponent who's gonna play some cards. This is actually fine. I don't have a creature, but I do have the statue with a, you know, at least one trigger, and this will draw me a card. Keep it. This wow, look at this, a 42 card opponent again. I mean, that was the previous one was a 44 card, but still weird. Okay, that's a nice one. That is a nice one. I guess. Guess I do want to draw the card. I don't have any. So yeah, I'm gonna actually do this in their upkeep, just in case they draw the, you know, the 1 mana discard effect. So the point is that I still know the exact next card they're gonna have, but I'm gonna draw my own card on my own upkeep. So if they have the discard effect now, they don't get to see what I'm gonna draw. Pristine Talisman, alright. So this is now gonna be... Okay, no, I don't need necessarily that many lands, but oh well. I do have the Acrobat Rivalry combination here, so I can kill some of their stuff, unless they have a way to... Well, that's not gonna be a disfigure. If they are holding priority right now, what can that be? No black card deals with an artifact. Flash. I mean, they can have a full control or something. But what can they hold in response to my Acrobat with Swamp up? I mean, assuming if it's not a full control. What card has a target right now in this format? I don't know actually. There's no card draw. No, black doesn't target artifacts. That just isn't a thing. Well, that's gonna be a mystery. Now, they're gonna play the talisman or something. I guess that's not so bad. That might mean that they're gonna play a big thing on the next turn, and then I can steal it, you know, sack it right away, and even get some value with this thing. So let's just do this. This costs too much mana to surveil, and even I mean, I would rather deal 2 than surveil anyway. So let's do this. Not gonna sack. This is decline. So they have the pristine talisman I talked about earlier. It's nice on turn 3 because now this means I will need to deal something like 4 to 5 extra points of damage, maybe even if I have a fast victory. Now this is gonna be an easy. I don't want to this guy to deal any kind of a, no. I mean them gaining any life with this thing. So I'm just gonna do this. I also unfortunately don't have mana to activate the statue, but I will do this, and of course I will sacrifice the Trench Talk. At least the Blast Runner is gonna deal extra damage here. But as you can see, this is gonna be the 3rd life point they're gonna getting from. So they go to 12, they would be at 9 otherwise. You know, if this was, for example, a Chromatic Lantern. Alright, so is this gonna be a corrupt deck? I only see swamps here. Okay, genius. Now, is there a reason to play this genius pre-combat? Because, you know, you have the activated ability here, but I'm gonna activate this thing regardless. So I'm using 3 mana on this thing and 2 mana on the... Yeah, I don't have 3 mana up after all is said and done. So I believe there's no point giving them the information about that. That's how I think it goes. Yeah, if I play the land and this, I won't have 3 mana available because the Power Stone will of course be tapped. So let's see what they have. They have 3 mana up, all the colors available too. Nothing. Alright, well, I mean, I'm not going to play around mass removal. They could have a Brotherhood's End, but the thing is that they can only deal 3 to my creatures. They can't also deal with the Levitating Statue. So at least I will have that going on. And this kind of guarantees that, I mean, I'm gonna have a very easy time dealing lethal damage on the next turn. But we will see. Are they gonna play any spell? They have no spell there. So I mean, they could have like a Corrupt, but they're not gonna gain more than 5 life even if they play a Swamp here. They do have a Corrupt, but not with a Swamp. So this is just gonna die and they're gonna go back to 10. Do I have a win here? It depends what I draw. Well, not with the Mountain, I'm pretty sure. Because I can sacrifice... I could actually surveil a... Oh, I have 2 of those rages, you know, unearthed creatures. So I should definitely surveil now. Right away. Because I might, you know, surveil that... Well, actually, that's not bad either. Definitely a good surveil decision there. Now, do I want to play this thing or do I want to activate this thing? Because I can't do both. I will be able to return this thing regardless, but then I can't play it. I think that 3 damage is gonna be more valuable, so let's do that. This is almost lethal, because I can sack and Power Stone, and this is paid 9 damage, but it's 9 is not... 9 is not... 10. I could still do it because I have a lot of mana. Even if I draw a Cityscape Leveler, I will be able to cast it. So I'm gonna do it just for the 2 extra damage here. They do have the Pristine Talisman after all. So they're gonna gain 1 life per turn. So now I'm threatening multiple lethals here. I'm not going to surveil in upkeep, so I won't need a stop here. More Corrupts. They could have another Corrupt. They would be going back to 6. Now that would actually allow them to survive another turn unless I draw something good. Oh, they actually are gonna go to 2 regardless because of the talisman, so if they have another corrupt, they would be going to 7. But we'll see. An interesting game. I mean, it seems like the opponent hasn't done much, but you know, they can still... That's not gonna help them too much. I was gonna say that they could still turn the game around, but of course they do need to have some very specific set of cards, and of course when they start with a 3-mana cantrip, it doesn't, you know, bode well. I mean, it means that what they have in their hand isn't gonna help them. Right, so it seems like a mono-black deck. I saw only black cards, I saw only swamps, which means this chromatic lantern might be a little bit weird unless they want to just play this, you know, mana accelerating stuff. They could of course splash for something too, and this helps their... Right, well, what does this mean for my sideboarding? I saw the Trench Stalker Corrupt Defiance thing. Well, I definitely don't need the Revenant. Is this something where I want to play the Wings? I definitely want to have the Unleash Shell. I want to deal with the Trench Stalker. Destroy land. 3 damage to the player. No. Perilous Vault. Probably not. Okay, is there something I should, you know, sideboard out? I don't really think so. I mean, something like this figure might even be a little bit low impact against this particular opponent, but it still works as a combat trick. If they have a Trench Stalker, I can make it into a 2-3 in mid-combat, which, you know, can help me to finish it off or something. I could consider the Wings here, but I don't. I think I just want to see more of their deck before committing to any kind of sideboarding. This is fine. The one Clay Revenant is, you know, it has enough synergy with some of the cards in the deck that I will always play one of these. I'm not gonna cut it against any opponent. I'm at least pretty sure of that. Okay, so that was like definitely more of a Magic game than anything I played against the first opponent. And it had its moments. I mean, I kind of steamrolled in the end, but it could have been, there was at least interesting decisions there. Now, I'm not going to keep a 6-lander. I mean, it's not a bad because it has 2 red for my 1 red double caster. It has a very good 3-drop, and it has the land that can, you know, help me in the later in the game with all these lands. So I mean, this is not a totally unkeepable hand, but I can just get so much better here. This is better actually. This has at least 2 spells, and they are nice combination too. So if they don't kill the Thraxodemon, I can actually start at some point at least start, you know, drawing extra cards with this thing. Now this seems like they are just playing with full control because I mean, also they could have a disfigure, but I suppose I'll see very soon. They're gonna deal with the Thraxodemon if they have a disfigure, but I think they had, you know, these priority stops in the previous. Should I draw the card right away with this thing? Yeah, there's no point. Although, it's too late now. I mean, it's actually a pretty sweet thing to sack with the Thraxodemon, but it's too late now. I mean, I'm gonna get the... Oh, what am I even... I can't play the Thraxodemon. I somehow thought that I can play this and the Thraxodemon with 2 mana, but of course now that it's on the battlefield, then now I only could do it. But hey, that was my mistake. But hey, maybe they are holding a disfigure and the Thraxodemon would have died anyway. Now I'm not going to sack the Chromatic Star because actually sacking the star with the Thraxodemon is gonna draw me 2 cards. So let's now see if they have a disfigure. But yeah, I was just talking about some sweet stuff. Oh, that's a very nasty one. You can pause and read what it does, but it's really, really good. They have colors and artifact spells with flash. Well, yeah, it's pretty risky, and this gets some counters. The Whirling Strike, though. Should I? So they can play a 4-drop. I mean, I guess I can deal with most 4-drops with the Whirling Strike. I kind of want to just, you know, play the Giga Mole or something. Yeah, that is maybe better. Let's just do it. I can, on the next turn, I can use the Whirling Strike on the Giga Mole and then still have the Thraxo Demon with the 3 mana to sack the Chromatic Star. Okay, there is a Kill Zone Acrobat. I might try to take the extra card over there. I don't know if the 3-4 is gonna be that much better than the 2-3. And I'm not gonna attack into flashy artifacts. So colorless and artifact. Okay, they had no play there. Okay, well the Trench Stalker can't be played with flash. Okay, Disfigure is gonna be very good because I can respond by... I mean, they cast something and this is gonna get a counter and then I respond with the Disfigure. But let's do the first things first. I don't think I'm gonna even bother attacking with the Revenant because they can just block with the Liberator. They might in fact just take 2 here and nothing else. Okay, I'm going to leave mana up for the sack here, I guess. Which means I can't play the Acrobat this turn. I want to, if they tap out on some effect, I want to kill the Liberator also. So I want to keep mana up for both the Thraxo Demon and the Disfigure. That's my point here. I hope they have like a Corrupt right now or something. That would be the best. Okay, well, let's do this thing. Get a couple of cards here. And I don't want to cast the Disfigure first. I want them to commit to casting some spell before I do that. Yep, that's fine. And... okay, I guess I can now attack with everything. I'm not... I mean, it seems like they might even not have anything. These are weird games. Okay, they block there. This is fine. I mean, I know I could now use the Disfigure. I could have even used the Whirling Strike, but I don't want them to respond with anything. So I think this is pretty safe. I can just do this. As long as they don't do anything, I don't care. So yeah, point is now, if I use Disfigure, they would need to have 2 spells to grow this. It's possible. The spell, if the amount of mana spent to cast that spell is greater than this guy's power, so they could have a 2 mana spell and then a 4 mana spell, 2 mana spell, 3 mana spell. It's unlikely, but I saw, for example, the Moment of Defiance, or what's their lifelink trick. I'm not gonna do anything here. If they don't play anything, I don't mind. I mean, if they just take the turn having played only 1 spell in the entire game, that's fine. Okay, Disfigure actually doesn't help with the Liberator, so now question is, are they gonna have like a 2 mana spell and a 3 mana spell to grow this thing twice in response to my Disfigure? Actually, it's enough that they have the Moment of Defiance. Yeah, because that's also gonna give them additional point of toughness. So I'm not gonna... there's no reason really to play the Disfigure there. I wish I had a Gix's Carest, you know, the discard spell, just to see what's there in their hand. Okay, I'm actually flooding out quite a bit, but it's probably not a problem here. Because I'm actually dealing damage to them, they are not doing anything. I have 2 tricks here if they have something mid-combat. Okay, Heavyweight Demolisher. So, this thing, they have to pay for that. I mean, I can't kill this, it's a 8-6. I mean, I can only kill if I let them block and then I use both the Disfigure and the Whirling Strike on it. I just don't like the Liberator being around here. I really don't like it. But I'm gonna lose a creature if I... Alright, so I could kill now the Liberator. Then they have an 8-6. Which they have to actually pay 3 mana for each turn. But I mean, they have 7 lands. It's not such a big deal. So it's gonna eat one of my guys. And then they can attack us for 8. Which I don't care about. I think that's even not such a big deal. Or I can let it block something. And then I will kill it with Disfigure and a Whirling Strike. Unless they block the Revenant for some reason. Which I don't believe is going to happen. Problem is they're gonna block the Thraxo Demon with the Liberator anyway, and then they block the Giga Mole with the Heavyweight Demolisher, and that's gonna be bad. I'm actually going to do it like this. And then, you know, let them let them block with this thing. I lose my... I believe I'm gonna lose my Thraxo Demon. It's gonna draw me more cards, but they still prefer to take care of... No, they took the correct one. And I get to Surveil, maybe not now. I don't think there's any reason to do it now. I'll see what they have. And then I will decide if the top card is good. Okay, they actually don't even want to. Wow, they tapped it. Even though they have 8 mana now, so I guess they did have to decide for this before they drew the card. If they drew the land, they didn't know that they're... Yes, they're gonna have that. So there is the Corrupt now. Well, that's... No, that just happens. That could have actually targeted me as well. Well, I don't think I'm gonna have an easy time against the Demolisher now that they gained so much life there. But of course in this game I have flooded out quite a lot and it keeps on happening. I could upkeep, do this thing, but I can also get a Cityscape Leveler and I want to be able to cast it, so I don't want to use 4 of my lands in my upkeep. Supply drop. Huh, well that's not exactly enough. A shame. But now I'm gonna actually surveil at this stage what mana do I want to use. I'm gonna do this now. This has many, so I can't jump block it. Oh, well, there's the Leveler. Hopefully they can't, you know, do anything nasty with my top of my deck. But of course, if I get to draw the Leveler, I get to kill the Demolisher. And I'm gonna go to 12, so I can even survive another Corrupt, because I kind of feel like if they're playing all these swamps, they have more Corrupts, and they actually still chose to not. Oh, that explains it. But actually, that's not so bad. I can trade with that thing if I want to. I can just kill it too. But let's do first things first. So, oh, by the way, with the Whirling Strike, I won't even trade with it. So let's play the land. I don't have much or anything like that, so let's just play all the lands. This is gonna take this because obviously this thing has Ward 4, which I can't cast. It has Vigilance, so it can attack. And now I could... Oh, it doesn't have Trample. Well, I'm gonna just jump block it. Just in case they have like a million Corrupts in the deck or something. I will have mana to bring this guy back. So yeah, I'm gonna jump block it. And then when they... Well, I can actually just kill it because of course this has the sick attack trigger as well. So I just pay 4 mana and kill this thing. Yeah. But there's no reason to go to 12 here. I can just jump. It's not like the Revenant is... Revenant is that, you know, amazing source of damage currently because they are at 16. So let's do that. And they need something to deal with this guy. They didn't have anything. Now they actually have the Unearth here up, but I'm at 20, so I'm not concerned. So you know what I actually want to do? I want to kill the Trench Stalker and them to block with the Great Cave Guard, so that I can use one of my tricks here. But the problem is this enters tapped, so if I return and play it, I will take the 8 from this thing and 8 from this thing. If they don't... I could also kill the Chromatic Lantern so they don't have the double red on this thing. But the problem is then I take 12 here if they don't block at all. I guess the safest thing is just to kill the Cave Guard. But I kind of want them to block the Leveler. Okay, you know, this might be a little bit crazy, but I'm feeling lucky now. Let's take the Lantern away so they don't get to unearth this guy unless they find another double red somehow. And now I just hope they actually block with the Cave Guard. They might take 8 here, of course. It's totally possible, but I can take 12 here. They have an empty hand here now. Yes, this is what I wanted. Okay, that's actually even better because, well, no, I don't get to deal 13, but this is still enough because obviously. So if I use the supply, no, I need the first strike now. So let's do the first strike, and that's gonna be enough. Yeah, 12 damage won't kill them both. I would need 13, so this is quite fine. They get 8 colorless mana. Don't think they can use it in any way. And then, yep, I can take 4 from that guy. And then return this, play it, and I can still surveil. Okay. Well, this is exactly what I kind of thought that there's a chance that they're gonna block with the Cape Guard, and that was the best value for me. Okay, those are not gonna. My sick bomb is gonna now win the game. Unless they find like another corrupt. Maybe let's not be hasty, but I'm quite likely to win. This is not lethal damage in any capacity. I'm gonna kill one of these. The Whirling Strike isn't actually that much better than something else, so I'm gonna actually win it. I try to just have a creature like this, and let's just play it right away. Okay, that's a good one. This can give haste. Yeah, in one of my previous videos I didn't realize this not only gives menace but also haste to other creatures, but it's not going to be lethal because I can play and sack. That's a 9 plus 2, it's 11 plus 3, 14. So they actually have 2, and I don't have mana to use this, so there's no point. I should be just playing it safe and also... Yeah, I'm gonna actually play it quite safe and just do it like... I could have attacked with the Revenant, but I'm gonna leave it as a blocker, because if they attack with this thing, who knows, maybe I will block after all. With the Revenant, that is. I can even block and sack, that's the point, because so that if this has lifelink, I can block and sack. That's the idea here. Aha, they drew it. So that doesn't have Trumble, they get to draw a card regardless, but I'm gonna sack this thing so that they don't get the life. This should be pretty much game over now. I guess if they find a... No, this has Unearth, but they could have been an exile effect. Yeah, the 5 mana common that exiles. Okay, now this is just... let's just go. I mean, this is game over. But yeah, they could have had the exile on this thing, and then I didn't have a lethal attack. 2, 4, 6, 7... Yeah, no, I guess. Alright, well, that was that. Well, my Cityscape leveler was really important here. That was a weird game, by the way. I mean, I had, well, a bit of flooding, but they had like the, you know, the Liberator here. They got the Demolisher, but they at least twice didn't even pay the 3 for it. So that was really, you know, weak for them. That it didn't really do much, you know, during 2 turns in the game. They had some powerful cards here though, but I didn't see much of any early game from early plays there. I guess if they have like multiple disfigures, but yeah, this is really heavy curve deck. Doesn't usually, this kind of build will have trouble to keep up. Okay, so 2 pretty like I mean kind of easy wins. Well, the first win was just, you know, handed to me. Opponent didn't play. And then the second match was interesting, but I guess still a bit somewhat easy matchup. Let's see what happens in the final match. Okay, I am gonna keep this because even though I have these 4 drops here, I have a couple of cantrips. I have 17 lands. I'll keep it. It's a bit risky. Opponent did mulligan. Okay, now I'm playing at least against the 40 card deck. Alright, well that's fine. Maybe it eats an early removal or something. Maybe they have a 3-1 or something that I can trade with. Okay, well they had something a lot better. Now, they are not gonna block, but of course I will attack still, because I can't block a menace guy. I mean, if they blocked now, I would be super surprised, because of course I have the Whirling Strike, but I mean that could have been a good bluff attack, and maybe they think that, oh yeah, this guy is bluffing, but why would they risk losing this guy and the Power Stone when they, you know, but they only take, you know, 1 point of damage. Okay, so no creature this turn, only 2 to the face. Okay, this is very good. This is actually very good because I can make this Blast Rider deal. I think I should take the mountain because I have 1 double red card in the deck. Yeah, this deals 3, and I don't really see how I'm ever gonna cast the Whirling Strike here. So let's just make this guy deal 1, 2. Life totals are fairly equal here. Board presence is equal-ish. I can play at least 3 top if I don't draw a land. Juggernaut. Well, that is a problem, but it is also something I can deal with the Whirling Strike, but of course it's super risky. I guess if they do have their own Whirling Strike, that's gonna mean that it's still gonna be a trade because it doesn't buff toughness. That being 7-3 first strike trample is still gonna trade with the 3-2 first strike trample. Now I do have other options too. I could just play the Gigamole and make it a 3-4 even if I mill a creature to block with this guy here. I'm at 14. Yeah, the problem is that I don't really like the fact that I would kind of miss making a relevant play here. Can just have a Rager double block the Stone Seeker too, but I don't want to take this 5 damage too many times. You know what, let's do this, see what I draw. I mean, what I mill here rather. Land, okay, yeah, decline, I don't need the leveler in my hand. So this is fine now. I know I could have attacked with the Blast Runner if they block, I can use the Whirling Strike, but I also have now, I'm threatening a double block on the Stone Seeker, so maybe they don't attack with it at all. Now that they do, that's almost assuredly going to be a Whirling Strike, isn't it? So if I double block the Stone Seeker, they're gonna eat the Gigamole. I take 5 from the Juggernaut. And if I block the Juggernaut, I take 2, and then this will have 7, this has 7 power, so it's gonna be 3. Yeah, I'm gonna take 5 regardless. So what's the risk if I double block and if they kill the Gigamole somehow? I don't think, yeah, they don't have the 5 mana instant up now. That could deal the Gigamole mid-combat. But it's gonna be a Whirling Strike, or it could be a supply drop too. Regardless, it doesn't matter which one it is. Yeah, well, let's do this. Let's do this. That's the best thing I could have expected. I mean, I guess I could have double blocked the 2-2, but I mean, this still has the Unearth up, but that was fairly decent. Now, I would have preferred to land because playing the Acrobat and the Whirling Strike would have been really good, but I mean, I guess I'll do this and double block this Stone Seeker. Trade with the Genius. Well, I mean, I could play the Scraprock Rager, but I kinda want to... Yeah, maybe I should have done that. Because I don't wanna... Yeah, that could have actually drawn me a land. Yeah, I somehow... Yeah, that was a brain fart of kind. Yeah, I should have played the Rager because there's nothing I can do with this mana. Maybe I somehow thought that I can actually activate the statue with this, but of course all the power stones enter tapped. I don't have an explanation. I should have played the Rager because it also could have drawn me a land and I could have had a land drop there. So now, no reason to, you know, take any more damage when I'm taking 5 from this quite likely. So let them play their next trick, which is gonna be Whirling Strike kills both of these two now. Well, I mean, I would have expected them to use a Whirling Strike. Okay, they had an Unleash Shell now, but it is what it is. And now I get the sack thing to actually make this into a 3-2. A bit unfortunate. Well, I guess I will need to hope to draw a land now. Oh, I know I can't block this guy, but I guess I might need to use the Whirling Strike on the Unearthed Juggernaut, but that's not gonna even happen because of this Wow. So I'm actually dead to a... Well, I'm taking 7 damage unless I absorb 2 of this trembling guy. Yeah. The opponent had the aggression. Of course, this Stone Seeker is just amazing. 2/2 menace. It's just so good. Okay, they still have better things to do than unearthing. I mean, this unearth is actually really strong because I'm at such a low life total that I had no untapped mana, but I guess they just want to dig into the good stuff they have. But yeah, seeing a Stone Seeker from the opponent is on turn 2 is always gonna mean a bit of trouble. They actually chose to not keep a Might Stone's animation even though they have the stone to animate. Wow. So their hand is gonna be insanely good. Right. I have 6 mana if it involves using the Power Stone on something. I kind of want to leave the Whirling Strike up, but I also... Yeah, I don't see how am I going to... How am I going to survive here? Let's do it like this still. Maybe I was supposed to use the Chromatic Star just to have an extra draw. The problem is I have to block this with at least something because it will deal just the 5 remaining damage to me. But I think the fact that they discarded the Might Stones animation, it means that whatever they have in their hand is something I can't beat, no matter what. I'm gonna leave up the Whirling Strike, and also I'm leaving up the Levitating Statue activation if I need 3 blockers. This thing has, after all, menace. But I can take a 2, I can't take the 5. So it might be so that if they unearth an attack with both, I just maybe have to take the 2 here still and use the Whirling Strike to not take any trample damage. Although that isn't really that great necessarily. Well, I mean, nothing is great here. I'm pretty sure that oh, they had treasure there. I'm pretty sure that I'm done here. Oh, they actually don't do anything here now. I miss my place. I could have the Forge Chanter now, but oh well. This figure helps. They have to sack a Power Stone token, but also it's good against the treasure, making it into a 1/1 double striker. I'm close to unearthing the leveler, but it's not gonna be. I mean, 8 trample is a lot, and killing one of the things is a great, but it's not lethal. Alright, so 6 lands means that if I play the Forge Chanter and the Acrobat, I can use the Disfigure but not anything else. So maybe it's just the Acrobat or just this thing. Then I have a Disfigure up, Whirling Strike up, and I have also the... I again didn't sack, I should have done that, I'm so bad. Okay, 5 mana. Okay, actually I have the activation of the statue, Disfigure and the Whirling Strike. I'm gonna go with that. Still, I'm super scared about what they're having in their hand. And yeah, I know I could have killed this just to make them sack a Power Stone, but I feel like I need to use the Disfigure in combat. They animate that thing. Nothing I can do about that. If that was their only one, it would be so good to make them sack it. Because when the Stone Seeker dies, they have to sack a Power Stone, but they have another one they can sack. Alright. What's happening now? Any attacks? But if they don't attack with anything, that's just gonna be so miserable for me because I then can't play my instants. So I suppose I'll start with this thing here, right? So let's do this and this. Just a land, but I guess that is something for the leveler. Activate this thing and I can block now everything. How do I do it? This is gonna be a 4/4, so it's very tempting to trade with the Oh, I don't even have to... Okay, so Rager here, this goes here and this goes here, right? They have a... I'm gonna disfigure this guy and see what happens. Because I feel they might have a whirling strike of their own. But I don't think I'm really... I'm just gonna try the whirling strike on the levitating statue, right? Because if they do have the whirling strike on the... Okay, they have it on there. Right, well this is actually fine. I guess. I mean, it's not the best. But this will trade. They have to sack this guy. I won't take any damage, but I'll lose both of my rages. Oh, but then again, I can do the leveler thing. Because I can save this statue, but I don't think that... I have the chanter here regardless. So I guess I'm gonna just... I'm gonna do it like this. I mean, I will lose both of my rages regardless. But at least I won't take any damage. And they lose their board here. So there's no... And I have my forged chanter here still. Maybe I should have blocked somehow differently. I don't know. This is what I did. And okay, I didn't need any more lands. Problem is this has trample still, so I need to leave a blocker for it. And this is destroying something, but I mean, there's nothing to destroy yet. So I think I'm gonna take the one card here. Wow. So I can't leave these two. Well, I guess I can. No, I think I'm gonna do it. Just, I mean, I could deal extra 1 point of damage here right now, but I'm not gonna do that. I want to absorb 3 of this 5 damage they're gonna able to deal. Now, if they have like an excavation explosion, I'm dead. If they can't really drop one expensive thing because I can have the leveler attack and destroy it. I'm also, you know, starting to... I mean, this deals 8 to them, so... Okay, they have actually... They're gonna have to pay 2 there. Oh, they are dead now. Unless they can deal also with the acrobat. Because I have 11 damage coming up. What? Ah... Okay, so I figured they're gonna have a bounce spell. They have the 2 mana bounce spell, or they could have also the you know, a white card that deals 3 damage to a tapped creature. But there's not much I can do about it, because now this acrobat isn't going to be enough to absorb the damage from the Juggernaut. So I'm dead on board right now. And I could play this Rager, hope to, you know, draw what exactly? Something that makes me not die to this thing. I think my better chance is that the opponent messed up and I can deal 11 now. I have a victory here, sort of, so I'm gonna try to make it happen. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a bounce spell and then I'm gonna die to the Juggernaut, but... Ambush Paratrooper, well, that's good enough, sadly. But there was no chance. I mean, especially with the Paratrooper, I was already gonna be dead to that thing, even without considering a Juggernaut there. So it seemed like they were red, and then they were blue-red, and then they suddenly had a... I mean, this is a playable card as a 7-drop. Maybe you have like a few ways to make the white mana, but then there was suddenly an Ambush Paratrooper, which is totally unexpected. But then again, I was expecting them to have the blue bounce spell, so it doesn't matter what the thing they had was. This was still my only chance here. Alright, so Milestones animations. They have tricks like Whirling Strike, a double unleash shell. They have a supply drop. Something to keep in mind. So am I gonna play a Moment of Defiance here, or Asnod's Intervention? It's a cheap way to kind of counter their stuff, but I have to recast my thing. I do have to recast my thing. And what am I gonna cut? I guess something like a Whirling Strike if I feel I need. Should I play a Carrion Locust because I saw what one unearth creature here? Don't know if it's exactly that good. I think I'll just play the same deck. These cheap tricks are gonna be good against the Power Stone. I mean the Might Stones animation, they're gonna be 4/4s and all that, so I don't think my cards are that bad. I like the acrobats with the rivalries and some flying damage later in the game. Alright, let's do it. But yeah, the Mistress Juggernaut, that's a real annoying threat. Okay, I'll keep it because I have the Revenant at least on turn 1. Then I can play the statue, which gets actually triggers from the bubble and the supply drop quite easily. And then I hope they don't have a lot of ways to deal with it. I know they have 2 5-mana burn spells, but that's not relevant very soon. They did mulligan there. Okay, I got the red mana as well. I just attack first. Do this, and I guess they don't have any discard effects, not with their colors, so I'll just draw the card right away. Supply drop, good to know. Oh, that's a nice 3-drop there. Another Stone Seeker, right? Well, I guess I'm gonna allow them to block here. It's just 1 damage. Why would you ever block? I'm so happy about that. Well, I mean, this is really good. They thought I'm bluffing. I mean, they lose also the Power Stone, but just can't be worth it. I was only dealing 1 damage here. There's no ninjutsu in this set. Maybe they have their reasons. They wanted me to use my trick. Well, I still have another one in here. Alright, I'm just playing the genius here, so I'll guess I'll attack for 1. Any counter spells? Nope. Oh, Stern Lesson. Now they could have a Might Stones animation, but I have an Unleash Shell for that, and if they leave it as a blocker, I can attack because of the Whirling Strike too. And not with the Clay. Well, I guess with the Clay Revenant too, I can sack a Power Stone to make it a 2-power creature, and well, we'll see. Let's let them make the play first. Could be anything. Of course, need to land for this thing. Refractor. Okay, that's another good target for the Might Stones animation, and then there's Mistra. Right, I'll take the 2 from that guy. Another strike, huh? Kind of feel like I want to draw the card instead of activating this. I guess if I draw land, untapped land, I will have the activation for this thing too. Yep, that's fine. Let's relieve a red mana open. Well, that was actually bad logic, because if I drew a land there, I would have just activated this rather than use a Whirling Strike. So actually I should have realized that the only card that I'm able to cast if I don't draw a land is a Disfigure in my deck. Well, That's what it is. I'm gonna attack for 3 instead of leaving a blocker on the Mishra. I don't care about them attacking. They might even use the ability here. And every point of damage is gonna matter now. I think I will be in a better shape in this race situation anyway. They have a treasure in there. Now I know about the supply drop, but they don't have 3 mana right now. Now they do. So I'm going to attack with the Revenant and the statue, right? I guess I could attack with a Genius and offer the trade there. Of course, if they do allow me to. No, but I still don't think it's the correct play. I want to leave the Genius here, and if they go for the, if they go for the supply drop play there, problem is I have to use the disfigure, and then that's kind of like I'd rather play my creature here now. I'm dealing 4 damage to them. I'm not worried about this dealing a lot of damage, although it could happen, but I'm also having a nice amount of damage output myself here. Okay, Paratrooper. Well, that I didn't want to see there. But oh well. I don't think I'm dead here or anything. I mean, they have a supply drop on a double striker. It's always a little bit dangerous, of course. But if they attack with everything... Well... It's fairly annoying. I don't have the sibling rivalry here, so I'm gonna block here. I have a couple of other targets for my disfigure, so they can use this thing, but they don't have mana to use the supply drop and the paratrooper, so they have only 7 here, so that would be 8. So that means they can't save this. Supply drop alone can't save it, and of course they don't have mana to use this afterwards. And I'll take the remaining damage there. They might even, supply drop the treasure, but no, they don't do anything right now. I need to start using my spells here. I mean, I don't want to lose with all these things in my hand. So. Well, I still don't have the 5th land for this thing. Well, this is a little bit unfortunate. The Juggernaut again causing me some annoying trouble. I have so many triggers for the statue, but it's not gonna help me that much. I think what I'm gonna do here is just... I'm just gonna disfigure the paratrooper now. They can't save it with the supply drop. It's gonna be annoying when it pumps everything they have. So... let's do exactly that. Okay, land was good. So I actually can use the Unleash Shell right now as well, but I'd rather use the Disfigure and have my Whirling Strikes up. Do they have a respawn to this thing? They have a Zephyrus. Oh man, this is... That's annoying. So now I need to have another game plan here. Can I win now? This can be a 5-5. So point is, am I gonna lose to their next attack? I don't think so. I can jump the treasure here with the Clay Revenant. So this is now the time where I'm actually going to attack for 5 in the air. Maybe even more. Let's see if they block. I guess I could also attack with the Genius here. They might double block with the Sentinel though. And the Juggernaut, I mean. Then I couldn't only. Yeah, so let's attack only with this guy. And they're gonna make this into a 3/3 double striker. Yeah, well, I can still trade with it or something. I'm gonna just do it like this. This is tough. I can take the... this thing has to attack also, you know. So, be my guest. I take 8 here. I'm not dying to 8 damage now. They are just letting me deal the... Ah, I see. They can deal the first strike damage here and then play the supply drop. I'm actually going to do it like this. I'm gonna make them do something here. So they could just let the first strike damage happen and then play the supply drop to make this into a 3-3, and then the second damage would still happen and kill the Revenant. But of course at that point the Whirling Strike won't help because first strike has been dealt already. So this at least makes them, this forces them to, if they want the treasure to survive, they have to use something. Either the supply drop or, I mean, this guy won't survive, but I mean, if they want to kill the Revenant, they will need to use the flyer or the supply drop here now. They can put the flyer down and then pump. I will take 10 damage, but I'm still, surviving 10 damage here. And of course I'm dealing a pretty lethal amount of damage with the levitating statue here. So now those guys are gonna trade. I go to 5 here, and now there is one unknown card. So I guess I still can lose. The Genius isn't bad, but if I want to use all the... Yeah, I don't have the mana to play and activate the Genius. If I had one more mana, I could play the Genius and activate it. But no, I still wouldn't be able to activate the statue. So they only... I mean, if they have another interacting spell, then they do. There's nothing here to... I mean, I have to try to do this. Of course, I will be able to trample through a lot of damage if they are gonna... Well, I actually have an onboard lethal here as well. Because I can just give menace to this statue, so does it even matter? Do I need to show another Whirling Strike here? Because I'm dead to their next attack regardless. So if they have a means to maybe if they have the... So if they have the life gain, if they have the deal 3 damage to a tapped creature thing... No, even that's if they block here. That's gonna be 8 power. It's trampling only 6. After I know, actually, this will be 9 power, but it will trample 7 damage. But if they gain life, it's 2 life, I think, or 3, 2. If they kill this thing, okay. So I think I don't even. I mean, I'm gonna just do this, and they need another blocker. I guess if they do have another blocker here. I mean, another ambush paratrooper. Was I gonna lose to that? Because yeah, then they can double block the statue. But the thing is, if I let them block or flash the other guy in, and then I have no, yeah, I guess yeah, another paratrooper would mean that this play was bad, and I would have won with the Whirling Strike because then they put two 1/2s blocking the statue, or I mean, I guess they would block the Genius and the statue, but even that doesn't matter because then the statue will trample enough with the Whirling Strike if they have only 1/2 there. But that was a lot of stuff to think there. So can they please not have the Stone Seeker on turn 2 unless I have a Disfigure? And by the way, don't disfigure this in response to the activated triggered ability, because then they get to keep the Power Stone, assuming that is their first one. I have actually done that once. I was like not paying attention. That was an annoying mistake. So what to do here? I still kind of like the Revenant, but it's not maybe that great. It is good against the Mishra, the combat treasure. So if I don't play the Revenant, what's gonna be my play? Tower Worker, Wings, Carrion Locust, Moment of Defiance. It seems to be a race quite often here, but yeah, I'm not sure if I have time to, bring this back many times. I don't see any 2-drops. ground guys that, you know, I can trade with my 1-2, so I could side it out, but it could be the Defiance, it could be the Intervention, it could be even Tower Worker. I don't think the Wings it's a little bit too expensive. I feel like I take the Defiance. Gaining some more life seems that it's quite useful in this kind of a matchup when it's gonna be such a race. And it's not a bad card, it's an okay trick for sure. Alright, I got the Disfigure, so now I don't mind if they have the... This is, by the way, a great hand. I don't mind if they have the thing now. Stone Seeker. Please have it. Oh, they don't have the... Don't have the red mana here yet. Let's see if I can kill their... No, I could have killed a Mishra, but not that guy. Well, I guess I'm gonna play the Acrobat because it can actually attack into the Power Stone Prodigy. And I still have the 4 mana for the Rager, so I don't need the Power Stone quite yet. Yeah, I don't care if you use a trick on this thing. Sure. That's that. Now they have that, but I think I will just disfigure that thing. Well, I mean, I couldn't have done that unless I drew the swamp specifically. Yeah. Because I want to, of course, play something else here too. So they have the looting up now, but well, then they will loot a bit. I have the Leveler, which actually is, you know, because of the Power Stone here, I need only 2 more mana, either lands or more Power Stones. I wouldn't mind dealing with the Ursa, but maybe I can double block it. Okay, well, there's a Juggernaut again. Oh, well, there is a... well, let's see. Can I take the 5 damage once? Because I really want to get rid of the Ursa. Really want to get rid of it. If I attack and they block, yeah, it's not good for me. I have to use a Whirling Strike, and then I can only play the Rager. If they don't block, well, I guess in that case I can deal 2 damage. But they might double block too, and that would be bad. I lose the Genius regardless. Yeah, that's a risk I don't want to take. Man, this is at least if the first 2 matches were like a little bit easy ones, this is at least causing a lot of decisions. So I could just play the Rager and, you know, like double block the Urza or something. I guess I like that most. I'm gonna play the Rager and then I can double block with the Whirling Strike up. And let's see what happens. I can take this once and then, you know, I have to unleash Shell something. Problem is if they have a Whirling Strike, I will still lose both of these guys, but I guess that's just how it goes. Losing the Rager isn't such a bad thing. Okay, looting first. They might just, you know, trade with the Genius. It's not the worst thing ever. And if they are gonna pass this, alright, well, that is interesting for sure. Huh. They are willing to let this go. I mean, I could just make this trade happen, but I'm actually a little bit constrained on mana, so let's do this. If they bounce, I'd rather than bounce the Genius, because that gives me another Power Stone token. They have Supply Drop, which is, you know, they are still gonna lose it. So this is kind of fine. Our tricks trade here, and everything goes away, and I can now just safely kill this thing, and I can survive one. I can survive one on Earth here. Okay, they seem to have the flyer here again. Yeah, well, that's not nice. That's annoying. Well, I guess if I draw a land, I can just cast the Leveler. This has a cast trigger as well, but I'm gonna go now down to... Well, I guess I'm not gonna go down to anything right now, because they don't have the 6 mana for the Juggernaut. They can draw a card from the supply drop. Okay, yeah, I need a land ASAP, but I don't have to draw it exactly on the next turn. Because I can take, you know, this 1 damage here for sure. Then I can, if I don't draw land, I can play both of these things. This will draw me another card. This can maybe, okay, well, that's fine-ish. And this is, yeah, I can do this. Land, please. Okay, that's good. That means next turn I can do good stuff. Now I will go to a low life total, which I don't like at all. Unless I actually absorb. I could actually absorb with the Forge Chanter some amount of damage. Yeah, if they're gonna unearth, I'm gonna gain 3 life by sacrificing this thing, because the leveler is going to win a game. They don't go for the unearth. Alright. Oh, please don't say that you have a counter spell there. There's not much I can do about it. I'm gonna play the land. I have this Toka's dig site. I might need to have all the lands on the battlefield. That gives all the information to the opponent. I mean, there's no force spike kind of a counter spell. I can play this afterwards. This is a cast trigger regardless, so this is actually gonna kill the paratrooper. I mean, even if it gets countered. But now the question is, you know, they could have like a sibling rivalry. That would be horrible. So if they deal with this thing, I think I'm gonna leave the Forge Chanter to block. Or they could have another one of these and then they can eat the Blast Runner for free. You know, I'm not gonna attack with anything right now. Let's see what happens. Put a stop here just in case. I'm gonna play this land. So they have a Coilous Rock. Okay, well, I can kill it with the leveler unless they get to deal with it. And of course now I have this massive blocker on the Juggernaut. I guess if they have 3 damage then, but this has Unearth, so the Coilous Rock is going to die. Most likely, unless they get to like arrest this thing. Which they are not gonna be able to do. Okay, 1 card I don't know about. I'm not sure if I should surveil now. I will leave the surveilling later on. Okay, supply drop also very nice. So of course I will just attack with this guy to deal with the rock here. And I just need to not die. This Miser's Juggernaut has been such a relevant card in all these games, all 3 games here. Now I have this amazing bomb here, so I mean, even if I lose this, I'm not gonna be too sad, because of course I can feel what the opponent feels. I'm such an empathetic guy, or just a pathetic guy. This has trample, by the way, though that's not really much helping. So point is that of course them losing to this leveler is super annoying for them. So if they now manage to find a victory, that's good for them. They deserve it. But I have a very good supply drop here, because I can make this into a 2/6. I can block the Juggernaut without taking any damage, without the Forge Chanter even dying. So they have 1 card I don't know about. But I mean, the attack with the Forge Chanter and the leveler will be lethal. Yeah, I don't want to take the 2 damage. I'll just do this now. They could have, you know, their Whirling Strike there for sure. I could save the Blaster. No, I'm gonna do this. Prevent the trample damage. But if they have now Whirling Strike, they will in fact be... Well, that's only meaning that they can deal. I get to draw a card with this thing, I get to survey, yeah. Because this of course goes to their graveyard, allowing them a 3-point hasty attacker now. So if this is a Whirling Strike, they have to actually do have to kill the Forge Chanter, I believe. I'm at 8 minutes here. They are at 14. Yeah, I've been using a lot of time. But I mean, when the opponent is playing all kind of instant speed effects, flash effects, you really, you know, have to think about all the possibilities when you are committing to your attacks and plays. And especially when you are at such a low life total and they have a Juggernaut Unearth available. So, I mean, if this is a Whirling Strike they're having in their hand, they can kill the Forge Chanter. This will be a 4-6, but this will be, 7 power. They will trample 1 point of damage. And then I will have lost both of my guys. This won't be able to deal enough damage in one attack. So we'll see right now. I have a Surveil up, I have a Supply Drop up. The Supply Drop sacrificing, actually makes the Blast Runner into a 3-2, but it doesn't matter here. It doesn't matter. Okay, I'm gonna let this happen right now. And they might, unearth this just to have the 1-1, but I can actually kill it. This destroys any non-land permanents. So the 1-1 still allows me to have a lethal attack in here. I still would want to have a blocker on this cohort, just in case. They could have like an Excavation Explosion or something to deal the remaining 3 points. Gigamole is good enough here. So let's just, I believe, play this first to see if I get like another Unearther or something. I didn't, but I have this set of cards. I think I'll take the Genius. I can't play and activate it to haste up my stuff. I'm actually 1 mana short of doing that. So now I want to win here. So I'm gonna try to win. We'll see what happens. Am I gonna kill... I could also target my own permanents, by the way. Non-land permanent, it's not the opponent's control. So the Refractor actually, it would be upgrading it. They would get 1 more mana. I don't want them to have it. They have all the colors. I don't think they're gonna have a 4th color in the deck. So I could make this into a Power Stone token, but it doesn't make much sense. I'm gonna submit 0 in here. Now they, first of all, this card in their hand has to do something, or they are taking 9 damage otherwise. So let's see what that's gonna be. It's gonna be a bounce spell. That is, harmless, because I have no blockers on the cohort. And I will, of course, not take 3 here. And then... Okay, actually, if I did change this into a Power Stone, I could now play the Leveler and haste it up. Because or if I drew a land, that would have worked too. That didn't happen, so because I would need 11 for that. I have now 10 mana, including the Power Stones. Problem is I'm not representing lethal right now. Oh, I'm just gonna do this regardless to destroy the 1-1. They can have their Power Stone token. And I want to attack with at least a Genius. I mean, if they have a sibling rivalry, they can steal this thing and kill my blocker. So I will lose the sibling rivalry regardless. Okay, fine. I don't think there's if they have the hasty attack. Yeah, this shouldn't. I'm gonna deal this. I want to, also win. Why didn't I? Okay, I missed 1 damage. But let's see if it matters. But anyway, I want to also be able to win if they have an answer for the Leveler. Because now, of course, I had a victory despite, come on, making the mistake of here not prowessing pre-combat. Because with this board state, I can activate this. Let's say I draw a land. I can activate this thing. It's a 1-1, but then I can sack. They answer this thing. I can activate this and sack, whatever Power Stone this will be a 2-power creature, this will be a 2-power creature, and this will be a 2-power creature. So unless they have both an answer on the leveler and a blocker or another removal spell, I was able to deal 6 damage even if I drew just a land. But yeah, that was a interesting event, despite the first 2 matches being such, well, especially the first one, not exciting at all. But the final match was really quite something, and yeah, I did win just because of the bomb mythic rare. But hey, that's why you pick them. It's also often so that, well, maybe not often, but sometimes you just lose to opposing mythic bombs. So I'm not gonna feel bad about that either, that I won because of this single card. Funnily, I got this mythic and these 2 retro artifact mythics and still was able to 3-0 the event. But yeah, not much to say about the deck. It was a disappointing draft in pack 3. Basically, the pack 3 was like super disappointing. So I'm extremely happy I was able to get all the match wins in the event. This deck, I mean, when you don't see the leveler, I guess, the deck has like 2 things going on. Double Genius and the Cityscape leveler, which, enough Power Stone production that the 8 mana isn't such a big problem to do with this deck. Other than that, a very mediocre deck. These cards are not exactly that synergistic, for instance, but sometimes you still can win matches. So yeah, this was now my, well, like I said in the beginning of the draft, not my final traditional draft of Brothers War, but my final Brothers for traditional draft for now. The next ones will be the Alchemy Dominator United. They are premier drafts, so best of 1. But once they're over, I will go back to recording these traditional drafts then. So thank you for watching, and I will either see you in the Alchemy drafts, or if you really hate the Alchemy things, I will see you in a week or 10 days or something like that. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.